make sure that there's no tech issues. Oh, and just as I say that, there she is. We have such great speakers today. You will enjoy. Get some paper and pen. Lori McNeil. Lori A. McNeil is our first one, and I'm telling you right now, it's a fire hose of information with her, and you all need to get a lot of paper and a really good pen and maybe a second one in case that one runs out, because that's how much information Lori A. McNeil will pour all over you every single time. Lori has blessed me by opening up all of my summits in this beautiful way. So look at how beautiful she is. I don't know if she's going to let me say, but she was a Miss Oregon one time. And rightly so. Look how beautiful she is. I'm wondering if she can hear me and say, oh, don't tell people that. But Lori is an amazing businesswoman. Oh my gosh, she is a powerhouse of information. And what's really wonderful about her is she is absolutely full of integrity. And that is such a pleasure. It is an exceptional pleasure to do business with her. Integrity is so high on my list of doing business with people. I could be a heck of a lot richer if I was willing to do certain things and work around them and through them and this, that, and the other, but I'm just not interested. So, and doing business with Lori is always amazing. We'll wait until she gets on camera before I actually introduce you to her. Oh, and there she is. Oh, look at this. Every time. Look how beautiful she is. I've known her for how many years now? 6 maybe? And
like that.
Every time I see you, it's like, oh my gosh, look at her hair. Look at that. Look at this gorgeous girl. Every time she comes on camera, this is my reaction. So with that, I'm going to hand you over to the public. And I'm telling you, everyone, grab your pens and get a lot of paper, a lot. Get journals, get whatever you need, because here it comes. Lori, take it away.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone from all over the world. Marianne, I know you always bring just amazing, beautiful people from all over the globe, and I love that about these monthly virtual summits is that there's people connecting in such beautiful ways from all over, and it's so cool. And I'm so honored to be the opening keynote speaker for you. Now, I don't even know multiple times, and it's just such an honor every time that you ask me. So thank you so much. And I am so excited to be diving into this topic of financial freedom. And you guys are going to hear from a lot of different amazing speakers, amazing experts from all over who specialize in a variety of different things. But I love, and I'm honored by being the keynote speaker because I get to kind of introduce the whole topic for the month and really set the stage for what is yet to come throughout the whole day. So, Marianne, thank you so much. I am Lori McNeil. I am an international business strategist that specializes in media, branding, and marketing. And yes, I do travel the globe. And yes, I do this every day. And I have been doing this for 28 years. I was going to say not quite 3 decades, but pretty close. So a really, really long time. And I love helping entrepreneurs just like you get from wherever you are to where you want to be. And more importantly, where you were created to be. We are all created to do exactly what we are supposed to be doing. And that's really important. And for those of you who have never heard from me before, and even if you have, I want you to have these aha moments as I speak for the next little bit here. So I hear from people every day, all the time. They're like, well, am I supposed to do this? And am I supposed to do this? And how do I do this? Here's the crazy thing about entrepreneurship and small business is that it gets really noisy, really fast. And sometimes it is really hard to know which way to go because there's really great opportunities around us all the time, really great people that we want to work with all the time. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that particular person or that particular project or opportunity. It's just that when you are in full alignment with who you are, who you serve, the problem that you solve, it makes saying no really easy. The more clarity that you gain in what you're doing and why you're doing it, And I don't just mean, oh, I figured it out last year, a few years ago, so I'm good to go. No, the more that you level up, the more that you learn about yourself, the more that you do that deep dive work, the deeper that you will go in your understanding of what you need to do next in your next steps. The learning never stops, the deep dive never stops. The person that I am right now today is not the same person that I was last week because I am constantly learning and growing and having these aha moments and digging deep into the stuff that I need to dig deep into so that I can unlock the brilliance within me to get to the next level that I need to be at to serve the people that I need to serve. So I want you guys to understand that it's not possible for you to have all of the information in order to make the best choice. Now, certainly with the information and the resources that we have at the time, we need to make that decision and move forward and don't look back. Oh, well, should I do this? Should I go back to this? No, you make that decision, you move forward and you stay strong in that. And if it's not the right decision, then I believe that we all have what's called an internal GPS because we're all created for a purpose that's only meant for us. So if you have a challenging time, if you make a mistake, if it's not quite what you thought, whatever it is, your internal GPS will get you to where you're meant to go. So if you actually really let that marinate and you really have understanding about that concept and about who you are and who you're meant to serve and what you're meant to do in this world, then you understand that relieves a lot of pressure from being so worried about making a mistake. Now, I heard something really interesting this last weekend when I was at an event that to me it was so simple and yet so profound at the same time. And I love those concepts. And it's this that fear is the lens that you view your own capability based on your past. So if you've never done the thing before, or if you've been challenged and maybe it didn't go so well, or maybe that person, screwed you over or whatever it is, you have fear about certain things moving forward because of your past. You're viewing that from your past. How many times have we heard, and I'm sure a lot of us have, that the past does not dictate your future? Right? So maybe you've been struggling with addictions, or maybe you've been struggling with money, or maybe you've been struggling with relationships, whatever that is. That doesn't mean that you have to be horrible at that thing or that that's going to be the challenge for you in the future. You make the decision and you do what you need to do to level up, fill your mind, get in the rooms with right people, listen to the right podcast, read the Bible, whatever it is, so that you don't necessarily have to move forward in the same way. Now, are those habits and easy to break? No. Is that mindset easy to shift? No. But you're never going to get to where you want to go unless you start. Your past does not dictate your future. So the only thing that fear is a lack of self-confidence based on the information and the experiences that you've had in the past to this point today. So I want you guys to think about that. It could also be based on something that maybe happened to a family member, or you don't want it to happen to you, or whatever. But a lot of it is based on the past. And so we have that fear or the unknown. I've never done that before. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your skills? Not that you know all the answers, not that you have all of the next steps, but do you believe in yourself to take that next step in order to figure it out? Now, some of you have heard my flashlight analogy before, and I love it, and it's so good. So I'm going to share it with you again today. You don't know what you don't know unless you take that next step. So if you picture the fact that you are in control of the flashlight in the dark as you're walking through the woods, walking down the hallway, whatever it is, and you have a flashlight in your hand, you are in control of that flashlight. That flashlight was designed for one purpose, to illuminate the path. That's what the flashlight was designed for. You control the flashlight. You don't see the next 100 steps in front of that illuminated path. You see maybe the next step or two. As you take the next step or two, the flashlight is designed to continue illuminating the direction that you are navigating it in. That's what it's designed for. My friends, you are in charge of your own flashlight. You are in charge of your own illumination. It comes from within. You have internal tools in your toolbox that only that you need to solve external problems. Those internal tools in your toolbox, you continue to build your toolbox with more and more tools, more and more resources, more and more understanding, more and more and more tools. You never know when you're going to need those tools, but they're in you internally so that you have them to solve bigger and bigger external problems. The higher that you go internally, the higher that you're going to be able to go to solve bigger problems to serve the people that you're meant to serve. You are in charge of navigating your own life. You are in charge of navigating and controlling that flashlight that's in your hand. Absolutely 100%. Now, a lot of people will say, well, Laura, you don't understand. You don't understand the past that I've had. You don't understand the challenges that I've had. You don't understand maybe I've had cancer and I've struggled with addictions and I've lost loved ones and. I do understand. I understand that everybody has a story, everybody has a past, has challenges, and those make you uniquely qualified to do exactly what it is that you are meant to do. It's not about comparing somebody's challenge over somebody else's challenge. We all have challenges, but here's the cool thing. Because you were created to do exactly what you are meant to do, the tools in your toolbox are meant for you. The tools in your toolbox are not meant for anyone else. They're meant for you, which means nobody's going to be using the same tools in the same way. It doesn't matter if they know the same person. It doesn't matter if they're part of the same mastermind. It doesn't matter if they're a part of the same industry. It actually doesn't matter. Now, here's the cool thing about that. It eliminates the idea of competition. It completely eliminates it. So I'm sure that many of you have heard that there's flattery if someone compliments you. That's like, copies you. That's like the best compliment ever. It really truly is because they're not going to implement anything the same way that you are. It doesn't matter if they're downloading your course or your guide or if they're copying you from stage, every little detail. It doesn't matter because different people are going to resonate with them and be magnetically attracted to them than the people that are meant to be attracted and magnetically attracted to you that you are supposed to work with. So I want you guys to think about some of these concepts that I'm sharing with you today. And some of you have heard me talk about these things before. But if you are a different person and you're constantly striving to be a different person, you should constantly have aha moments, no matter how many times you've heard something. So I hope you guys are taking notes and I hope that your mindset is starting to shift around the idea of fear and what you need to do to actually take that next step to get you to where you want to go. Some of you have impact goals. Some of you have legacy goals. Some of you have financial freedom goals, which is the theme of today's event, financial freedom. I'm here to tell you that if you don't do the deeper dive work and you don't understand the deeper sense of who you are and what you're meant to do and how to utilize the tools that are in you and add to those tools and understand that deeper sense of self, that you are actually capping your own success, your own financial freedom, and your own impact. Now, that may be kind of harsh to hear when some of you are saying, but Lori, I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard. I believe you. I believe that you are. And my challenge to you is to actually do a deeper, realistic dive into what activities that you're actually spending your time on. What is it that you're so busy doing? Are they great projects? They might be. They might be amazing projects, but are they actually the things that are going to move that needle to where you want to go? Remember what I said in the beginning when I said you might be working with great people and great projects, and there might be a great mission and a great purpose that you believe in, but is it actually what you should be doing? And that can be a harsh reality for some people because they're like, man, I'm doing all these great things. I'm doing all these great things. You probably are. But are they actually getting you to where you want to go? I have to tell you that in my career, I've had to reevaluate this many times, and you all should evaluate this many times because in this world of entrepreneurship that we live in today, in technology and all the cool things going on, it's very noisy. It's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to get wrapped up in all the hype. it's very easy to go down a rabbit hole of a really cool opportunity and find yourself very far from where you want to be, from where you should be, from where you were created to be. So I want you guys to really think about that as we move into Q2 of this year. I want you to really think about your needle moving activities and what it is that you really should be doing. And the things that you let go, the things that you say no to are allowing the space and the opportunity for the right things, for you to be focused in the right direction. I want to introduce you guys to a concept that I actually talked about on a little bit in Business Builders, in my Business Builders group just a few days ago. And that's the concept of all of these amazing things in your life that are not bad, but that they're giving you that hype that gets you back to homeostasis rather than leads to ascension. So maybe you wrote that book. Maybe you got on that magazine cover. Maybe you were on a big stage. And maybe those are things that lead you to ascension, to your goals, to your bigger why, to your global mission. But I want you to think about every time you hit a challenge, every time you hit what's called the pit, how long is it taking you to get out of that pit? Meaning, are you spinning your wheels? Do you stay in depression? Are you distracted? Are you not focused? How long does it take you to get back on track? Okay, so that's the first question I want you to ask yourself. When you get off track and you're in the pit, how long does it take you to get out? And the second thing I want you to ponder on, and this may sound simple, but it's actually really profound and really deep. And that is, are all of the amazing tasks, and amazing activities, and amazing accomplishments that you've had over the last, let's just say, year, or maybe even for some of you longer, are those things actually bringing you back to homeostasis, or are they the things that are actually moving your needle? Because it's really, really easy to get excited in the moment and to feel pride and to feel and celebrate and feel excitement. But how many of you are actually doing all of these things that aren't getting you to greater financial freedom, that aren't getting you to greater impact? You may think that they are because in the moment they seem super exciting. And it's like, well, how could it not? I was on this stage, I was on this magazine, I was a part of this project. Again, not bad things, but are they actually the things that you should be focused on? Are they actually the things that you should be doing with your time, energy, resources all around? And I'm here to tell you that in most cases, the answer would be no. The answer would be no. So I want you to have a very real conversation with yourself, a very real, deep reflection, and think about how you're going to move forward in the rest of this year that's actually going to lead to the impact that you are meant to have in this world. You can't have the impact that you want without the financial freedom, time and money freedom to actually do the things that you want to do. How many of you say you want to have a building, you want to make X amount of money, you want to have a charity, you want to donate this amount? There's all these things that I hear all the time. You can't do those things if you aren't stable within yourself, if you're not crystal clear on who you serve, why you do it, where you're going. If you're not crystal clear on some of those things and you're not understanding the path and you're not in control of your own flashlight, of your own GPS system, first of all, people aren't going to be clear about who you are, who you serve, the problem that you solve if you're not clear about those things. And if you don't understand what it takes for you to level up internally, you're going to constantly be frustrated that you're not getting to where you want to go. Because here's the thing that I do know. If you are not clear on these things that lead you to the result that you want, if you're not clear on where you're going, if you haven't set your GPS, not that you know all the rights and lefts and turns to get there, that's not what I'm saying. But if you aren't clear in where you're going, then you can't be too upset about where you end up. I'm going to say that again. If you're not clear in where you're going, you can't be too upset about where you end up. Now, for some of you, that may be a ouch. Maybe that's why I'm doing this the last year, 2 years, 5 years. So if you're frustrated about not making the impact, not making the income that you want, it's probably because you are not focused, you are not disciplined, and you are not crystal clear on what it is that you're actually after. You've got to have an end goal. You don't know the people, the resources, the opportunities that are going to surface until you take that next step. That's why It's perfectly okay that you don't have all the answers, that you don't have the next 10 steps or the next 100 steps. It's perfectly okay because it's not possible for you to have all the information. But you do have to know where you're going. You do have to know where your ultimate goal is and your vision and what you want. Now, here's the interesting thing, and I'll give you an example of myself. We all have goals that we've had in different times in our life that have led us to this point that we are today. I've had different goals that I've achieved. And when I've reached that point that I thought was the ultimate goal or the pinnacle for whatever that is, I have learned and grown in so much by that time that I'm either ready for whatever the next level is, or I'm no longer interested in the goal that I thought I once wanted. And let me give you an example of that. So many of you know that I'm a retired business professor from Oregon State University. And I've taught and designed MBA programs all over the country at various different schools. There was a MBA program in a private school that I was working for before I actually retired from OSU. So the school I was working at right before OSU was a private Christian university in a small town. And I got offered the dean's position 3 times. 3 times. There was a time in my academic career where that was like the top. That's what I wanted. That's what I was after. And of course, my colleagues and tons of people in my life, they were happy for me and they couldn't quite figure out why I kept turning it down. And to be honest, at the time, I didn't really know why I was turning it down. When I got offered that position the third time, I had to step back and say, why does this no longer interest me? Why is this no longer my goal? And that's when I realized I had learned and grown so much in my journey in pursuing that goal that I actually realized I was meant for more. My goal was actually bigger than that. My purpose was actually bigger than that. My legacy was bigger than that. But I had to go through that journey that it took to build the tools that I needed internally in order for my mindset to be bigger than what I even thought possible. That's why you should never stop learning. That's why you should never stop growing. That's why you never stop doing the internal work because you never know exactly how you're going to use those tools and where it's going to lead. If you would have told me 15 years ago that I'd be doing some of the stuff that I'm doing now and that I've been on some of the stages that there's no way. And many of you have that same story to tell and so many of you have heard that from other amazing leaders from around the world. It's common. When you actually expand your resources, when you expand your mind to be bigger than what you thought possible, that's incredible. That takes the internal work, my friends, not just skipping over the steps to get to where you want to go. Because here's the thing, and you'll hear this with people that win the lottery. Most people that win the lottery actually become bankrupt or broke or lose it all in some way with less than a year, like within a few months. I think the top is like 18 months or something like that. And it's because you weren't the person that you needed to be to handle that level of fame, that level of responsibility, that level of money, whatever it is, you weren't the same person. So you weren't ready for it. Many of you think that you are ready for the next level, but what you need to realize is that there's probably things within you that need work in order for you to level up internally in order to be ready for whatever it is externally. Some of you want that financial freedom so bad. Some of you want that global impact, that fortune, that fame, that whatever it is that you want, that external validation in a lot of cases, but you don't even realize the responsibility that it actually takes to be in that position, to be in that role, to do some of the things that you're wanting. You think that you do, but the reality is, I'm here to tell you, friends, and I say this with all the love in my heart, you're not. You're not actually as ready as you think that you are. You may want that, and that's awesome. And I'm never going to tell someone that they can't do it or that it's not possible. But what I am going to say is that you have to do that deeper dive into some of the stuff that I'm talking about. Some of you have been chasing after the shiny objects long enough that you have all these great things under your belt, but you're coming back to homeostasis every time. You're coming back to homeostasis every time. You're not actually doing the things that are going to move your success needle that lead to ascension. It's the harsh truth. It's a harsh reality. So I want you to really, really sit with that and let that sink in. If you need a certain amount of money to have the impact that you desire, for instance, or for whatever that is, if you're seeking financial freedom, you can't get there without doing some of the stuff that I'm talking about. So this is some of the internal stuff that I'm talking about. Some of the external stuff that I'm talking about, that I want to talk about, excuse me, is the things with what are you doing with your money, right? What are you doing with your money? Do you know how to invest? Do you know how to save? Are you a huge spender? Are you spending money on? Some of you need to understand the three different ways you make money on stages. Sometimes, yes, you need to make that investment to be in that room, to be on that stage, to be a sponsor of that event, whatever it is. That's one strategy. I talk to speakers all the time who are like, "Oh no, I want to be a paid speaker. I'm a paid speaker. I don't pay to speak." And you're not understanding the strategy behind implementing the three. I've been speaking on stages most of my life. Before I even do what I did now, I was actually a performer on stage from the time I was 6. Some of you don't know that. So I've been on stages my entire life in one capacity or another. I understand the power of being in the room. I understand the power of being that sponsor or being involved in that financial investment. I have no problem doing that, even after all these years, because I understand the strategy behind all three. So when a speaker comes to me and says, I don't pay to speak, I automatically know that they don't understand the strategy behind how the industry works, or that they have a broken mindset in what it is that they're either capable of using the other two strategies, or they have an ego problem. I'm just being honest. Or they have an ego problem, or they actually are broke. So they're going after that short-term gratification of that paycheck because they want someone to pay them. And so there's things that I automatically know when someone says that to me. So this is a reality check, my friends. I want you to understand the importance of doing some of these things and understanding some of these things that I'm sharing with you if you want to actually reach that financial and time freedom and that impact that you're after. You have to be very, very real with how you're moving forward. Okay, so we talked about sponsorship. We talked about the investment of being involved in a certain event or opportunity, whatever that is, to be in front of that audience. But then there is being a paid speaker. Someone writes you a check. Okay, so that's the second way. They may or may not, you know, take a certain percentage in the back of the room, or all of that. There's some of that that's negotiable. And then the third way is that you sell something and you make money in the back of the room. I can tell you that your own fear, in a lot of cases, are keeping you stuck in not fully implementing the back of the room sales strategy. There's a lot of fear around that. Now, we just talked about fear. What does fear mean? Fear is based on your past lens of your disbelief, or lack of self-worth, lack of self-understanding, lack of self-value that you have in yourself to sell the thing. That's really what it is. How much confidence do you have? How much courage do you have to actually sell the thing? Because here's what I do know. Speakers that implement the strong strategy of selling in the back of the room make way more than they would if someone wrote them a check. In a lot of cases, it's true. Like, it's just absolutely true. Even if you're paying someone a percentage, and some people do charge percentage, and some don't, or some might have an affiliate, or there's a whole bunch of different ways to do that, where the event host is also making money. It doesn't matter how much courage do you have in yourself in doing that, because most people have a fear around that, and that's why they want the check. That's why they're waiting for the check. So I want you to also understand that money is energy, right? Energy is money. So if you invest in something with the first strategy, for instance, and you sponsor an event, that will come back to you. The ROI in that is deep and wide. It might be immediate, it might not. It might be somebody that hears something that you had to say and hires you next month or in 6 months. You never know. But you have to have the confidence that you are adding value to the people that you're meant to speak to, that you're adding value to. And the ROI comes in so many ways. Maybe somebody asks you on their podcast. Maybe there's somebody on that podcast that actually hires you. There's the ripple effect of you serving. Servant leadership is a real thing. Adding value and serving with value first is a real thing. And when you have that mindset and you actually believe in that and you move forward in that, you will be a stronger leader. People will gravitate to you magnetically. You will serve the people that you are meant to serve, and you will have the impact that you are meant to have. So I hope that you are taking notes. I hope that you are having aha moments in these very real reflection points that you have to have if you want to move that needle to greater financial freedom and greater impact. So I'm just going to throw out an example. I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not dissing on coffee drinkers. This is actually tea and honey. But I do know that some of you, you get 3 or 4, Starbucks or lattes or whatever it is throughout the day just to keep yourself going. So, really, truly, how much does that add up to be in a year? So, for some of you, this is just an example. There's all kinds of things. It could be eating out, it could be sugar, it could be whatever, going to the movies, whatever it is. What are you doing financially that's actually not allowing you the money that you need to make the investment or to get on that plane or to be involved in something that you should be involved in, to hire that coach, to take that class, whatever it is? What do you need to do? For some of you, maybe it's the balance of it all, and you need to get your health under control. And you say, well, Lori, I can't afford, a gym membership, or I can't afford this. What are you doing? What are you spending money on that you shouldn't necessarily be spending money on, that's not leading to healthy behaviors that you could actually do to free up some of that money to get you to a healthier body, healthier mindset, you know, in order to impact the world in a completely different way? All of that has to do with time and money freedom and how you move forward in the world. It just does. It's all connected. It's all connected. And in you stepping into your best self and serving the world in the best way that you can. So, what's the balance look like for you? What do you need in order to take that next step, to have the energy, the focus, to get that impact? And for some of you, maybe that is very much health and wellness related. Maybe you need to sleep more. Maybe you don't have the balance with your time, with your family. It's interesting that when you're focused on your goals, when you're focused on what you're doing and you pay attention to the balance, you don't need to work 20 hours a day. In this industry, it's almost like this badge of honor, right? I want you to think about that. It's this badge of honor. There are people that I know that only, and it's not an only, I shouldn't say that. They have their work-life balance under control. They put in a reasonable amount of hours, but they almost feel like they have to fudge it and tell people that they work more than they do because it's not supported in this industry as much. Oh, well, I've been up since 3 o'clock. Okay. Well, where are other areas of your life that maybe need a little bit of work? And is that really a badge of honor? Or are you refreshed and focused and happy and positive and serving the people that you're meant to serve in less amount of time? Are they actually getting the best of you? Are they actually getting the best of you? Is your family getting the best of you? Are your animals? Are your kids? Are your friends? How many times have they invited you out to lunch and you couldn't make it? This all has to do with who you are and how you're navigating moving forward in your being your best self. It does. How many times have we heard all of these things? And it's like, oh, I've got to do that. I've got to do that. I want to be better at. My friends, you've got to just take action. You've got to wake up every morning and just decide and take that action and then put those accountability measures in place. Don't go to Starbucks if that's your thing, right? If that's a thing you need to change. Don't eat, a bag of chips every day. Now, I love Doritos, don't get me wrong. I'm a Doritos and Mike and Ike girl, but it's all about in balance. It's all about having the balance. I'm not saying don't eat the bag of chips, don't eat the box of candy, but it's all within balance. So I want you guys to really, really think about what you're doing that's keeping that needle from moving forward with your time and with your money currently. And are you actually using your time and money to do the activities that, although may seem great, may seem feel good at the time, aren't actually what you should be spending your time and money on, right? So it doesn't matter whether I'm talking about the external validation or the external ways that you're spending money, spending resources. It's all connected. It's absolutely all connected. But here's the thing. In some cases, the answer would be yes. Yes, you do need to spend the money on that ticket to be in that room. Yes, you do need to show up. Yes, you do need to sponsor that event. But when you understand who you are, who you serve, the problem that you solve, and that deeper sense of self and what it takes to get to that deeper sense of self to have that greater impact, when you seek that clarity, when you are actively seeking that clarity, then you know which answers to say, which opportunities to say yes to, you know, or you know what the answer is, and you know which ones to say no to. Let me tell you, I've been saying no a lot more than I've been saying yes. Marianne knows that when I show up for these monthly meetings, I don't do this. I don't do this for everyone. I do this to serve the people that I meant to serve and to show up in the ways that I meant to show up. It doesn't matter if it's 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. It doesn't matter where I am in the world. I know that this is the way, this is one of the ways that I am meant to serve every month on these summits. And I'm grateful and I'm blessed and I'm honored to do it. But I don't do these kind of things for everyone on an ongoing basis like this. Not because I don't have people out there that I love and respect that aren't doing amazing things, but when you're super focused on what it is that you're doing, you don't have to feel guilty about saying no. You don't have to have that what if, what if, what if, what if mindset. You're like, no, bless you. I wish you all the luck. It's not in alignment with what I'm doing. No hard feelings. You're still friends. You're still colleagues. You're still working together. Doesn't have to be a negative thing. Like, okay, and keep me posted on the next opportunity. And maybe there's a next thing that makes more sense for you. Because here's the other thing, they're probably and should be in a different space. If they're continuing to level up with their sense of self and what it is that they're doing, then there might be an opportunity later on that makes more sense for both of you. But what they're doing doesn't shouldn't affect you and actually doesn't matter. So there's all of these different things. Now let me switch gears for just a second and talk about the time and money freedom in a different way as it relates to business strategy and media branding and marketing for just a minute. Um, the reason I started this segment the way that I did is that these are such important foundational things to understand so that as you move forward in life and in business, you have a better mindset and a better sense of self and a better understanding about how to move forward in the things that I'm about to talk about. Okay. So you've got to have that foundation in place. You cannot skip the steps. I see so many people wanting the thing, right? I mentioned this a minute ago. They want the thing and they're saying, oh, I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to put in the work. And it doesn't take me long to figure out that they're actually not, or they're not disciplined enough to actually to sustain the right habits, the right lifestyle, the right things that they need to do. They're ongoing, right? How many people start a gym membership and after 30 days don't go? Or they have New Year's resolutions or they don't go. It's because you don't have the discipline, you don't have the accountability, you don't have the things in place that you need to have in place to be successful, even though you have all the greatest intentions, you started off. And I'm guilty of this too. Like I admit, gym membership, I've been guilty of that many times throughout my life. That's why I use that as an example because I know that a lot of people have had that. But you have to have the right things in place in order to make that a successful goal that you have in the end. So when you have the right things in place, it makes all the difference in the world. That's why the internal work is so important. What do you need to do so that you can sustain that momentum? So that in the hard days, in the stressful days, in the times when you're, waiting for clients to pay you and you don't have any money and you're trying to build and all these real things that in entrepreneurship we deal with, we see, we experience in different ways. What are you doing to actually stay super laser focused, to stay positive, to not get knocked off track, and to keep moving forward and showing up even when you don't feel like it. My friends, that's a big one. I can't tell you how many people I've heard over the years, they're like, oh man, I'm doing this. I'm just tired. I'm just sick. I'm just da 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 da. Now, there's very real things out there. If you're in the hospital, okay, I can't tell you how many times I have shown up even when I have 100 and whatever temperature and I don't feel like it. Or I'm on coaching calls and I have got all kinds of personal things going on with my family. Whatever it is, you show up. If you legitimately cannot show up to, like, if there's a legitimate reason, like you just can't function, you don't have cell service, there's a death in the family, I get it. I get it. I'm not saying go live from at a funeral or anything like that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying be reasonable. But I can tell you that I have gone live, I've shown up, and I've coached in extreme circumstances. Extreme circumstances. But here's what I also know in doing that. You establish the habit, you stay focused, you continue the momentum, and you actually become a stronger person when you do it. When you give yourself almost too much permission to not show up, what excuses are you actually using and you're trying to justify? Now, there are justifiable ones. I want to make sure people understand that. But there's a lot of excuses that I hear people make every day. Every day. Can you change your schedule? You want to have a family day? Awesome. I'm all about that. Have a family day. But that doesn't mean that you don't show up for people. You still show up for people in some way. Do it the night before, do it the day after, do it that night, do it whatever. But you don't just say, "Oh yeah, I've been busy. Sorry, I've kind of been offline for like a week." People are going to be like, "Okay, when's the next time you're going to be offline to where I can't count on you?" I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. You've got to have the right mindset to still be focused in doing what you're doing. It's just true. And some of you may not be liking me right now by saying that. Well, Laura, that's crazy. That's not in balance. That's pushing, that's grinding too hard. That's crazy. That's not reasonable. That's not whatever. I encourage you to check yourself. How much of your life that happens, because life happens, are you actually using as an excuse and justifying that? Because, friends, I'm here to tell you that excuses do not excuse you. Excuses do not excuse you. If you find yourself out of integrity by not showing up, or there's a real thing going on, you've had something in family, it is your responsibility to get back into integrity. What are you doing to get back into integrity with yourself and with the other person or the situation or the event or the whatever? Not just like, oh yeah, sorry, because an apology without changed behavior is just manipulation. An apology without changed behavior is manipulation. So, what are you doing to step into that greater sense of self and leadership to get back into integrity and not allow things to knock you off track? This is just some very real talk today. Very, very real talk, because here's the thing. I care about your success. I truly, truly care about your success. Some of you, I hear the same stories from over and over and over and over. And it's because you're continuing to do what? The same thing, expecting a different result. You can't cover up your poor mindset, bad habits, lack of integrity, bad financial spending. These things catch up with you. No matter how much you try to hide them, there's very real things that are keeping you from getting to where you want to go. Only you can fix that. You are the only one controlling your GPS, your navigation system, and the flashlight in your hand. You are the only one. We all have challenges of things that we feel like we can't control, but we always have a choice, and there are always things we can control. There are always decisions that we can make. We always have things we can control. 100%. That I know to be true. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a small decision. It could be a thought in your mind that you make that decision to think about something differently, to have a different attitude, to have a different mindset, to have a different outlook, to force yourself outside. It starts with the mind before it ever starts with the actions or the words. Even if that is the decision that you make in that moment, to not be negative, to not let something affect you, to not have that fear, and to understand that you take that next step, and that fear is really just the internal reflection of your past circumstances and how you believe in yourself. It all starts with a decision of some kind that is going to catapult you and moving you forward. So as you step into your greater sense of self and your purpose, then you understand how to use the different business strategies that you need to use that are best meant for you, or at least know how to switch gears. That didn't work. We're going to do this, right? Because why? Your GPS gets you to where you were meant to go. God and the universe have a plan for you, and you will get to where you are meant to go if you just keep moving forward. The resources, the people will surface to get you there. There's no such thing as making a wrong answer. How many millionaire stories have you heard where they've said, oh, yeah, I've lost millions and I gained it back, lost millions and I gained it back? Why? Because they learned so many building blocks and tools in their toolbox along the way that helped them to pivot fast and to make more money than what they lost. That's why you should never have fear around the decisions that you make, as long as you know where you're going. So when you understand that and you understand what you need to do to have that greater sense of self and level up, then you step into greater external opportunities that are right for you, that are meant for you. For some of you, maybe that's more podcasts. Maybe that's starting your own podcast. Maybe that's starting your own live stream. Maybe that's stepping on to some of those scary stages. Maybe that's sponsoring an event for the first time. Some of you are like, oh man, is it going to be worth it? Should I sponsor an event? I don't know. Should I do this? Should I invest in this? When you understand what the greater sense of self of what to say yes to and what to say no to, then those answers to those questions become easier. And yes, you should. Many of you are playing way too small. It's true. I have thousands of conversations all around the world, and I'm here to tell you why. Because of an inaccurate sense of fear. You're playing too small. What do you need to be doing to actually push yourself toward ascension, not just get back to homeostasis or stay at homeostasis? Some of you need to push yourself outside your comfort zone because you can't grow when you're in your comfort zone. But Lori, what if I invest in this, and what if I do this, and what if I put all this time and energy in something and it doesn't work? Okay, well, how many attempts did it take for Edison to invent the light bulb? Our world would not be where it is today without some of the people that had that courage to just keep going in their time and money investments and their resources investments, because they were so focused and so passionate about what it is that they wanted to do that they didn't give up. That they were okay to eat rice and beans and rice and beans and rice and beans because their focus was, they knew it was good. They were going to have the breakthrough eventually. Now, some of you are thinking, Lori, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been doing this for 10 years. I haven't had the breakthrough. I haven't had a breakthrough. You're not doing the internal work. And stop doing the stupid stuff that's keeping you at homeostasis. I hope you're hearing me. I really hope you're hearing me, because the answers for someone like me on the outside are obvious, but I can't do the work for you. Only you can. Only you can do that work for you. You might be working very hard. Don't give up. Evaluate what it is you're doing and what it is that you need to do. And be very real about that. Some of you need to invest in and pay attention to different things within your branding, within your marketing. What are you investing in? Some of you need to get clear on who you are, who you serve, the problem that you solve, so that your messaging can be clear in your branding and marketing. If you're not clear in who you are, you can't expect the people that you are meant to serve to be clear about who you are and what it is that you do and how you can solve their problem. When you understand how media branding and marketing fit together and how those tools support the foundation of who you are and what it is that you're trying to do, then you understand the process that has to happen. The internal work, the building of the foundation leads to greater financial freedom and greater impact. It's a very clear path for you, but you have to understand how to dig deep into each of these in order to get to what? The higher sense of self and ascension of what you're meant to do in this world. That's why you have to understand these foundational tools so that you're not throwing time and money away at the wrong projects, at the wrong marketing, at the wrong branding, at the wrong business strategies. And they're not just feel good activities. They're not just things that are keeping you at homeostasis. Marketing gets people in the door. Branding keeps them coming back. I have people ask me all the time, what's the difference between those two? Marketing gets them in the door, branding keeps them coming back. You have to maintain the strategies that are a clear path for both of those. It's not one or the other. It's not, I'm going to focus on this, and then I'm going to focus on this, and then I'm going to focus on this. No, you have to understand how all the pieces fit together. And social media absolutely is a part of that. Technology is here to stay. So we have to embrace that. You either need to learn some of the basics or you need to invest in someone that can help you with that piece of it, or your branding or your logos or your graphics or whatever it is that you're not good at. Stay focused on what you're good at and be real about the things that you're not good at. And in the beginning, I know that a lot of you are doing all the things, but what should you not be doing that's going to free up more time? What should you not be doing that's going to free up a little bit more money to make a different investment? Right? That's part of our discussion today. So maybe that is hiring a VA. Maybe that's hiring someone to help you with your branding and level up your graphics and your colors and your social media and your messaging, hiring a content writer, whatever it is. Only you know the answer to that. But being very real with some of these things will help you get to some of the implementing some of these other pieces. And then there's the media. So when you understand the strategy of media and you understand how to get to the omnipresence level, then you understand how branding and media and marketing fit together in order to help build that strong foundation, strong leader, that influencer that many of us want to achieve within our industry. Then you understand that you have to have all three. And all three of those in the trifecta of how you build that foundation is what you need, is really, really what you need to understand in order to do the things that you know are meant for you, but that you can reach more people and that more people are able to see you, hear you, understand you on a variety of these different platforms, whether that's television, live streaming, summits, podcasts, more stages, magazines. I've done it all. If you've never heard me say it before, I'm featured in media over 500 times a year. So that, and some people are like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? By doing exactly what it is that I'm sharing with you today. I step into a greater sense of myself. I continually add tools to my toolbox that allow me to operate at a higher and higher level all the time. You have to. Remember when I said that I thought I had reached my goal as the dean of the business department, and I realized that I had grown so much more beyond what I thought I wanted. Many of you are playing too small. Many of you need to stretch yourself so that you are able to be the person that you need to be in order to reach that next level, that higher level. Don't be the person that wins the lottery that goes broke in a year. Learn to be responsible with your money. Learn to be responsible with your time. Learn to be the person that you need to be able to handle that amazing opportunity that leads to that greater impact. I realize that we are just about out of time. I shared a lot of different nuggets, but the understanding is the build, the process of the foundation, what you need to do and what you need to continually to do in order to add those tools to your toolbox that make you uniquely qualified to serve this world and to solve external problems in only a way that you can, and only a way that you were meant to. I love doing what I do every single day and helping entrepreneurs just like you get from wherever you are to where you want to be. My friends, don't end up in the same place at the end of this year that you started at the beginning of the year. You have choices to make always in how you're going to move forward and the type of leader that you want to be, the impact that you want to have, the financial freedom that you're after, what that actually looks like for you and your family, and the example that you're setting for your friends and family all around you. When you step on that stage, the example of that journey that leads to that hope for the people that are listening to you, that they know that it's possible for them to do it too. Do you have the power within you every single day to have the impact that you were meant to have? The choice is every single day, how are you using the tools within you, the resources within you, the time, the money, the influence that you have right now to reach that greater impact that you're meant to reach every single day? Always leveling up. You're not in competition with anyone except for yourself. Who were you yesterday? And how are you going to step into a greater sense of leadership and self today in order to have a greater impact today? That's it. You stay focused in your own lane. If you think about the tortoise and the hare, who won that race? It wasn't the one who got distracted, who had ego, who did all these things because they thought that they just, had it in the bag. It was the one who stayed focused, one step in front of the other. My friends, that's how you win the race. That's how you get to where you want to go. It's really not about how fast. Momentum loves momentum, don't get me wrong. But very clear, focused actions will achieve the goals that you want without distraction. The distractions are what's keeping you at homeostasis or keeping you in the pit. So I want you guys to really reflect on that and be honest about that. What do you need to do? Do you need to learn social media? Do you need clear branding? Is your messaging all over the place? Do you need to level up with your website? These are all very real things. Some of you need to understand how it is that your visuals are actually affecting your messaging and affecting you reaching the people that you're meant to reach. Some of you are tired of working with quote unquote the wrong people. They're exhausting and you're scrambling trying to get somebody to pay you. So you're working with anybody, even if you don't like working with them. I hear that story a lot. When you are super, super crystal clear on who you are, who you serve, the problem that you solve, and you go all in on that, you're not chasing the dollar. You're staying focused on what you need to stay focused on to have the impact in servant leadership. And you're understanding the value. You're understanding your value and your purpose. And you're not letting anyone else dictate your time and money and resources by having that scarcity mindset of just collecting that dollar of whoever's going to pay you. And then you get stuck in that trap, right? Because you need the money. Well, we already established what fear is, right? Fear is the perception based on your past of how you view yourself and your capability of moving forward. That's why there's no such thing as fear. I love you all. I hope that you took notes. There were a lot of different amazing deep dive things that we kind of discussed over the last hour. Marianne, you always take notes. I love it. This is
I
a
love
very
taking
real
notes
talk.
from you. It's my favorite. I've never been anywhere where you've been speaking where I haven't walked away with like pages and pages of notes. In fact, I can't even keep up. I'm gonna have to get myself a VA just to keep up with you. So
For
amazing.
your notes.
Please continue what you
There's
were going to say. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it was
uh,
so good.
no, I'm so glad. And I try to share very different things every time, different perspectives, every time that I share these. So that it's A, not always the same, and B, because as I'm talking with people all over the world, I like to share things in real time. These are the discussions that I am having with people. This is what's going on in the industry. This is what people are struggling with. That's why I bring the things that I do. That's why I bring up the topics that I do and encourage the deep dive and the reflection so that you can have those breakthroughs, so that you can have that financial freedom that you're after. You can have that time freedom. You can have that impact that you want. You can live your best self that everybody wants. It's not just a cliche, it's not just a saying. It really does exist if you do the work. So if you're super exhausted, if you're super depressed, if you're always frustrated, like there's a reason for that. You've got to, you only you can make the decisions that need to be made in order to change the pattern, in order to change the habits, in order to change the lifestyle, in order to change the mindset that actually gets you to where you want to go, where your heart desires. So that's why I brought up some of these very real kind of deeper issues today, because these are conversations every 30 days that I open for you. I have very real and real time conversations, and I desire your each one of you to have the success that you want, that you were created to have, that I'm not afraid to share it straight. I'm not afraid to put it out there and just say, this is what I see. This is what you need to be doing. Be real with yourself. You may think you're faking it till you make it. You're faking everybody around you. First of all, you're probably not as much as you think you are. And the second thing is you're actually capping your own success and your own impact by not being real with yourself. So some of you heard real hard truth today. And I want to encourage you to do that deeper dive. Push yourself outside of homeostasis and work toward ascension. And only you can do that. And only you know what you need to do to maintain the balance in your life, to level up your resources, to level up your mindset in order to get there. Only you know the answer to that. And if you struggle with that, if you need help with that, then that's where you need to be better with your time and money resources to actually level up in a different way to get you the accountability or the coaching or the help that you need. It doesn't stop, my friends. This process doesn't stop. This is part of the industry. This is part of being an entrepreneur, being a servant leader, and doing the work that needs to be done continually. It never stops. So I love helping entrepreneurs get from wherever they are to where they want to be, more importantly, where they were created to be. And with that, Marianne, I'm blessed. Thank you so much again for having me.
Oh my gosh, so good. So good. It's like being at a seminar when you listen to Lori. Lori, did you want to talk about anything that you might have coming up? Like, I know you have the book. I'm not sure if there's any room left there.
There is. I have several people wanting in, and I always vet people for anything that I have going on because it's got to be the right alignment. I truly care about that. I don't just take anybody into my projects for money, right? We talked about that. I don't do that, and I don't want you to do that. So it's very important that we're having the right conversations. I have several people that are interested, but technically, I still have one spot left. The person that comes into that needs to be ready to rock and roll so that we can get it to print because there is just one spot left and we're moving that project forward for sure. So that is called The Equation. It's an entrepreneur's formula for success. It's a very cool opportunity. This is not quote unquote just a collaborative type of a book. There's a whole PR strategy around it that is in collaboration with the LA Tribune. We're doing a red carpet event, live interviews, VIP party, penthouse, the whole thing in Vegas on May 10th. You get magazine mentions in Legacy Unlimited. You get certificate saying that, and there's only 10 people that I'm allowing into this. And so I'm looking for that 10th person. So there's only 10 people allowed that then become critically acclaimed best-selling authors by the LA Tribune's editorial board. You get special insignia. You get the special certificate that you're presented with. Very, very cool. A very cool opportunity. There's and then podcasting, and there's a whole strategy behind it. You're a team of people moving forward in the world of sharing out this whole idea that everybody has a story, everybody has a journey. What's your formula for success, right? Your formula is different than my formula, but the whole idea is that it's around a theme. And so everybody's sharing their formula for success in their chapter. And it's very exciting. It's very cool. We did this last year with the legacy book, and everybody's sharing their legacy stories, and it was phenomenal. And so we have a different kind of a theme and different surprises, in Vegas on May 10th for the people that are involved this year. And it's very cool. It has the complete backing of the LA Tribune, and they push it out to their database. And so there's a lot of exposure involved in this, and it's 3,997 for absolutely every thing. And that involves a little bit of coaching along the way, as well as media opportunities and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yay. And I'm in it. So that's why
And
I'm
you're
on.
in it. Yes, it's very cool. Like the whole process last year was amazing. The feedback was amazing. The penthouse with the LA Tribune in Vegas was amazing. Like it is really, really a cool opportunity. And Marianne, if I could, just one more thing, not to be confusing, because I don't you really talk about two CTAs, but we just took Business Builders out of beta. So Business Builders has been in beta for about 5 months, I think. And we've been building out all the systems on the back end and building it up. And I started it with a core group, founding group of 35 members when we first started so that I could build the beta for it and all the cool stuff. And it is awesome. Just took it out of beta. It's only $47. I don't usually do low tickets. So if you've ever worked with me, that's never a price you've ever heard me ever say. I don't do low ticket anything, but this is a new design. It's a membership. It's live training and coaching. It's trainings inside the membership. It's special guests providing all kinds of cool special prizes and opportunities. Last month, we actually featured 5 business builders that get special full feature recognitions on the LA Tribune's website, pushed out to the LA Tribune's database. 5 business builders were chosen for that. I mean, there's really cool benefits for $47. Like it is phenomenal for $47. So anybody who wants to be a part of that global network, like reach out to Marianne, reach out to me. Nikki's a part of that as well. Amanda's a part of that as well. It's a global exclusive membership club, and I just took it out of beta. So we're about to like launch into something even cooler. $47. Like it's
With
phenomenal and
amazing speakers,
it's yeah.
amazing speakers. We had Mo
I bring awesome people every single month and continually. I'm bringing awesome people that really you don't see or don't get to interact with on a regular basis like you do some of these other stages. These are like phenomenal people that I'm bringing forward to business builders only to that group. So with that, I don't want to take up any more time, but thank you again so much. If anybody has any questions, if you want to join the book, if you want to join Business Builders, reach out to me, Marianne. We'll make it happen.
Perfect. Thank you, Lori, again so much
Lori,
for
that was great, by the way.
gracing my
Great
stage.
stuff.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Have a
Thank you
beautiful
so much.
Where are
Yes,
you, Lori? Where are you coming to us from today? I didn't even ask.
Today I'm in Dallas, Texas.
There she goes. Dallas, Texas. Close to you,
You're
Nikki.
right
Yep.
around the corner from me, Laurie. And
Yes,
I always say and encourage people, the first time I ever heard Laurie talk, I thought, this is a lady I get to work with, but I could never afford her. And that's what the day she opened Business Builders. And the power in there, when you get an opportunity to take advantage of wisdom, knowledge, honesty, real talk, and like Marianne said, the integrity that Laurie brings forward for $47 a month. Come on, guys. Are you crazy not to do it? I have been absolutely blown away. And I want to thank you for what you bring in that, Laurie. So this is not a paid advertisement. This is genuinely from my heart, I have to say.
No, that's not true. I'm kidding.
This is an
Thank you.
opportunity people don't want to miss.
Thank you again
Thank
so
you,
much,
Nikki.
Lori. I hope you have a beautiful
Thank you.
day. Thank you, Nikki. And